What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Clint. Today we're mounting beadlocks. Tire shops are not going to mount beadlocks. Just so you know right up front. Some off-road shops will, some off-road shops won't. Just depends. I'm assuming it all has to do with the liability, but I'm making this video so if you guys decide to get beadlocks, you know what you're looking at. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to get all new valve stems. You can try to reuse the ones in your current wheels, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to tear the old valve stems up trying to get them out, and they're not going to hold air when you try to put them in the new wheels. So your best bet is just to buy brand new valve stems. You don't have to get TPMS valve stems. You don't even have to use your TPMS sensors. You can just take them out and turn it off with your taser or your Super Chips flash cowl and be done with it. But I'm going to put mine back on. So I got TPMS sensor valve stems. These are by Crown Automotive, part number 4032H2D. I'm going to get these valve stems put in, transfer the TPMS sensor over, and then we'll get to the fun part. Okay, so I took my wheels and tires off and took them to a local tire shop and had them break the tires off the wheels. Here's your TPMS sensor. It just screws onto the back of your valve stem. So to take that off, you need you a T10. Pull that guy right off. You can stick that back in there because the new valve stems come with a new screw. So your TPMS sensor is now off, and that's all it is. You're going to need a valve stem tool. It's going to look something like this. Got a little end on it that screws on the end of the valve stem. You can pick these up on Amazon. Or if you have a friend that has one, like me, you can just borrow one. Now for lube, all I'm using is a bottle of soapy water. That's it. No fancy tire dope or tire snot, or there's stuff you can get, but this works just as well. Run the valve stem through the hole and screw your tool on. And get you a rag or something to put right here so you don't mess your wheels up. And then just use pressure and pull it through. I'm probably blocking the camera view. There. You'll feel it pop into place, just like that. If you look at the bottom of your TPMS sensor where it mounts, it's got 2 square sides on it. So you have to make sure that you have your valve stem oriented correctly in there so that you can attach your TPMS sensor. That's why I've left the valve stem tool attached. You don't want your TPMS touching the wheel. Take the new screw that comes with your valve stem and attach your TPMS. This lip right around this outside edge right here, that's where your outer bead is going to sit. So make sure you get it popped in there, because sometimes it'll sit right here on the top of this edge. So work your way around it and make sure that it's sitting behind that lip. This one's being a butthole. Once you got your bead seated where it's supposed to be, line your lock ring up, start putting in your bolts, using a little bit of anti-seize on each bolt. Alright, now once you've got all your bolts started, you can start tightening them down, going in a star pattern at increasing intervals each time you start over. Now you can go to torquing your bolts to manufacturer's recommended torque setting. Mine is between 22 and 24, so I'm set right at 23. That is the monotonous part about this, but you have to be methodical in it, because what these bolts are screwing into is just a threaded insert. You have to use anti-seize, and you cannot over torque these. If you do, you're gonna have problems. And you can't just start at one side and go all the way around. You got to get it flat first, because this lock ring is aluminum and you can warp it and bend it. So that's why you start off getting it flat in a star sequence and then go around and get it torqued down to what it should be. All right, let's put some air in it.
I found it was a whole lot easier to stand the tire up rather than leave it on the bucket to set the bead.
we're back on all fours. Let's see what she looks like. Yeah, I know I don't have my spare on yet. My old ass is whooped. I'm gonna wait on my son to get home. Help me put it back up there, because these beadlocks are a whole lot heavier than my other wheels. Not a terribly difficult endeavor, mounting beadlocks. Just very, very time consuming. I've got probably 6 hours just mounting the beadlocks, and then throw in another hour and a half. No, 2 hours. Throw in another 2 hours to get the tires broke off my old wheels, and then another 3 hours carrying the beadlocks back up there to get balanced. So what is that, 5 and 6? So we're looking at 11 hours. I understand now why shops charge so much to mount beadlocks. No special tools required, just a lot of patience and attention to detail. I hope this video will help you guys if you decide to do it yourself. I highly recommend it. It builds character. You guys remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Till the next time, keep the shiny side up. Jeep on.